Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. We're going to talk about real estate, but we're really talking about Home Depot. The reason why is Home Depot just posted the worst revenue miss in 20 years. It's actually pretty ugly, but it's actually pretty cool because I've been talking about this for literally over a year. I've been covering Home Depot a lot. As a matter of fact, I made a video a couple days before that news came out and said it was going to be bad because they've already given you the indicators. And I teach this in my real estate course that it is one of the indicators and why you should hold on strong for this real estate crash. The fact is, not only are people locked in their houses essentially because they can't literally sell their home and move next door because it's too expensive, but now they are tapped out and are no longer repairing their house, fixing their house up, remodeling their house. The home flippers, it's over. They're done. So now we have that next phase. I explained that in the course. If you guys want to learn how to buy real estate during this crash, how to prepare yourself, I did this 15 years ago. I'll put a discount link below, 70% off the course, okay? Go and take a look at that. But let's talk about Home Depot. So they have new forecast, right? Where they said the consumer changed. They had this real fancy language for the way the consumer was changing last quarter. Now let's see what they have to say, because it says that they lower their forecast as consumers delay big projects. Now it says Home Depot on Tuesday reported its biggest revenue miss in the last 20 years and lowered its forecast for this year as consumers delay big projects and buy fewer big ticket items like patio sets and grills. Remember, I've been talking about that as well. I did some videos out in front of Home Depot with their Trezors. Remember in the winter, they had so much oversupply. They ended up getting rid of it, but they had so much. I was out there and watching the rain come down. They were trying to cover it up. And they had some pretty steep discounts on those Trezors. Well, pretty soon you're going to see even steeper discounts on their patio sets and their grills and things like that. Remember when we did the video on Ryobi tools where they had so much stock, they were literally liquidating this stuff for like 30 cents, 40 cents on the dollar. It was amazing what they were doing, these deep, deep discounts, right? But remember, this is going to get better. So if you're planning on buying a big ticket item, you may want to wait, especially this next fall into Christmas time. It is going to be unbelievable. I'm personally waiting to buy a lot of items. Why? Because I can hold those dollars either in a bank account or under the mattress, or I could buy some gold, and I am just literally gambling that the price of gold keeps cruising up, and then I have even more purchasing power for the future. Guys, that's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, okay? The company's shares closed about 2% lower Tuesday, which is pretty surprising. I would have expected more of a drop with this kind of revenue miss. When you start saying things like, we haven't seen it this bad in 20 years, that's usually an indicator. Home Depot said it now expects sales and comparable sales to decline between 2% and 5% for the fiscal year. It had previously predicted roughly flat sales for the period. Its operating margin is also expected to come in lower for the year, in a range between 14% and 14.3%, compared with the previously expected 14.5%, including the effect of a $1 billion investment in employee wages. If you don't remember about what happened there, Home Depot decided to really juice their employees' paychecks and their wallets and their pockets by giving them more money to retain them. They were having a very, very hard time retaining employees. So that cost them a lot right then and there. Now, I personally believe that you are going to see the next quarter come out even worse for Home Depot. So even though they're saying, hey, it's going to decline, but it's only going to decline that by this much, remember that a lot of that talk is to save that share price, and I believe in the future you're going to see even worse. Why? Because inflation's not going away, and inflation is not going down. So people need to realize that the consumer is going to continually feel the pressure as credit card debt gets higher and higher and higher. It's going to be very obvious soon that people are going to stop not only buying patio sets and grills, but also toolboxes, tools, and things like lumber. If you haven't noticed, lumber prices are coming down pretty rapidly. Now it says here, Chief Financial Officer Richard McPhail told CNBC that Home Depot anticipated 2023 would be a year of moderation after Americans' huge appetite for home improvement during the COVID pandemic. The retailer's annual sales have grown by about $47 billion from 3 years ago. And remember, what's happened in the last 3 years? So when they start reminding you, hey, look, we've grown this much. Well, yes, you did, but they were during unprecedented times. So you have to realize that. You have to take all of these comments with a grain of salt. And remember, the objectives of literally putting out bad news during an earnings call is trying to keep your stock from collapsing. The state of the homeowner is that they're very healthy, he said. Hey guys, put down in the comment section if you think the state of the homeowner is healthy. I would like to see your thoughts as opposed to the guy that's in charge of Home Depot trying to save his company from investors selling their stock. He said they have healthy balance sheets. They have healthy incomes. But I do think our professional customers tell us they hear from their customers. There is that shift, even if it's temporary, from larger projects into smaller ones. So think about this. Here, Home Depot is putting the blame on big projects or little projects from contractors that are being canceled. Well, remember who's paying the contractors? That's right, the homeowners. You know, the homeowners that he just said have a healthy balance sheet, that they're very healthy, that they have healthy incomes. Well, it's one thing to have a healthy income. It's another thing to just spend the money and blow it. In 2008, I knew lots of people that were still making lots and lots of money. But one big difference happened in the recession. They stopped spending. Why? Because they said, look, I've got lots of money and I'm still making money, but I'm not making the money that I used to. So what am I going to do? I'm going to stop spending. And they held tight and they started to look for bargains. And that is what's going on. Even the most successful and most savvy people right now in the country that are doing really well. And I don't believe there's that many of them in comparison to so many people that are burdened with credit card debt, auto loan debt, student loan debt, and home mortgage debt. Those people that are doing really well, they're like holding back. I see them all the time. I talk with them. They're successful people and they know what's going on. It's the masses that don't get it. And so they're sitting back, the successful ones, going, you know what? I'm going to hold off buying that nice new car. As a matter of fact, I'm liquidating mine. Like I was talking to Lucky Lopez the other day. Remember, he sold his Audi R8. And he says, you know what? I'm going to buy a $6,000 beater car, and I'm going to prove to you guys I'm going to rebuy that car back in a year for a lot less. And I completely agree with him. That's what I'm doing. I'm in a hold and wait pattern. I'm not going out and spending money on frivolous things. I'm paying down my last debt, and I'm storing money up for a big win. As a matter of fact, I've even pulled a lot of my stocks off the table just personally. Now again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I am a dude with a bro hawk and a dream, okay? But my point being is this, to me, is not the time to be spending. Now he says, here's what the retailer reported for the 3-month period that ended April 30th for the Home Depot numbers, compared with what Wall Street was anticipating based on a survey of analysts by Refinitiv. Earnings per share was $3.82 versus $3.80. So just a couple cents, right? You're like, not that much. Revenue, $37.26 billion versus $38.28 billion expected. So of a loss of almost $1 billion. It says here, it marked the second quarter in a row that Home Depot missed Wall Street's revenue expectations. Last quarter, the company fell short of analyst expectations for the first time since November of 2019, before the pandemic. Now, I'll say this. I believe that you're going to see these next quarter's expectations revised a little lower. And the reason why is because it would behoove Home Depot and let's say some analysts out there that are trying to be right all the time because they've been wrong the last couple quarters, to revise them a little lower, saying, you know what, I think we see the trend, and the trend right now will be our friend if we stick with the trend, and they're going to revise these lower so that the impact isn't that bad. And on the heels of this kind of news, to revise these numbers lower in the next week or two wouldn't really have an impact, in my non-professional opinion, on the stock. So guys, there it is. Right now, Home Depot's telling you the health of the consumer. I don't care what the CEO says, telling you about healthy balance sheets and the consumer is healthy. I don't believe they are. I believe the consumer is trapped between a mountain of debt and scary inflation on the other side, and they don't know which way to go. Pretty soon, you're going to start seeing people pulling money out of 401ks. We'll be reporting about that too. Guys, if you want to get ready for the real estate crash, it is going to be awesome. You have to be prepared, and you have to have the know-how and start doing things right now systematically to prepare yourself, not only financially, but mentally, for what's coming. Because when the time to pull the trigger, it's going to be scary, and a lot of people aren't going to have the faith because they're like, no, it's just a falling knife. But there's very easy ways to identify it. It is literally that simple. Guys, I'll put a 70% off code down below for the real estate crash course. With that being said, the real estate ninja, that's my brother. If you want to go see real estate stuff, go check out his channel, Real Estate Ninja. The economic ninja is out.